Hey everyone, welcome back to Saturday Morning Toy Tunes on this gorgeous, at least here, gorgeous sunny celebration weekend. That's right, Star Wars Celebration is going on this weekend, all weekend long, streaming live on the Star Wars YouTube channel, and I have the audacity to interject my humble live stream into the midst of it all, and I'm just genuinely shocked by the number of people that I'm already seeing in the chats. What are you guys doing? What's wrong with you people? I mean, are you able to multitask? I mean, I know that we've got at least one of you out there is actually has two screens open. I myself actually have my iPhone right there on a little tripod, and it's actually streaming. I'm actually going to be distracted by it plenty during the stream, I bet. So yeah, interesting weekend. All sorts of geeky goodness going on. I don't know about you all, but it has been a very emotional couple of days for me, starting bright and early when I first woke up on Friday morning and caught the Ahsoka trailer for the first of what would be 25 viewings throughout the course of yesterday. Like every time I took a break from work, I popped it back on and watched it at least once. So it was it's really been an Ahsoka-centric weekend. For those of you who've been tuning into Star Wars Celebration, they've had pretty much the entire cast on the stage at Star Wars Celebration to a great reception from everybody in the crowd. It's a massive crowd, a great set, and everybody's just been so on point. The interviewers are very, very, very slick, very professional. The actors, very careful not to reveal too much, and I'm kind of grateful for that. Yeah, I mean, how do you all feel about that? So, going forward throughout the course of the chats today, I had a lot of stuff that I wanted to talk about. A lot of it was Rebels related, but I kind of get the impression that that's just going to be thrust aside, and we're essentially just going to be talking about Star Wars Celebration, because that is exactly what's on everybody's mind. That being said, Rebels is relevant because what has been revealed, and I hate spoiling this for anybody who's intentionally staying away from the Ahsoka trailer. You're out of your minds if you're doing that. But legitimately every cast member living from the Rebels TV show has been revealed in that trailer, except Zeb, who we saw in The Mandalorian. So that's fine. I'm sure that we'll see him at some point too. Anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and get on to the greetings, because in addition, oh, by the way, I just want to say right now that I have, probably saw that in the thumbnail, but I picked up this figure here. Wait, which one is this? Okay, I picked up ARC Trooper Jesse this week, and I also, in a trade, got myself a Count Dooku from my good friend Guy Klender. Have you all heard of him? No, he's kind of an unknown. Nobody really knows much about that guy. But yeah, so I'll be unboxing at least one of those. I also have an Axe Woves here, and I'll just go ahead and leave it to everybody else when the time comes. Be thinking about which one you want to see unboxed and posed here on the show, and I'll let you guys choose. Remember that I also have Axe Woves, but I have a feeling that very much like Matt Damon on the Jimmy Kimmel show, we're just gonna run out of time. Sorry, Axe. Poor Axe gets no respect. And we can talk about that figure too, because there were some great things going on with Axe Woves in the most recent episode of The Mandalorian. And we'll be talking about that as well, because I think that's a very divisive episode from what I'm gathering. I've got a lot of people that are in my orbit who are just really not happy about it. I think they're crazy. I loved it, but I'll be interested to hear what everybody else has to say. I saw Desmond Hassing is in the chats. I'm sure he's got a few things to say as well. That's right, I'm jingling keys. Dobby's gonna freak out. Yep, sure enough, he thinks he's going somewhere now. All right, and without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and say hi to everybody so that we can get on with the discussion. Going back to the top of the chats, looks like Terry Smith is here. That's good, that's good. Steve, Nara, and Steve131 were right out of the gate in the chats this morning, pretty early. I was talking to them before I even really started to prepare for the show. So good to see you guys here right out of the gate as well. Dude, I really love that too. For those of you who weren't watching the Return of the Jedi panel, they showed the ancient animatics. I'm gonna turn that down a little bit. Ancient animatics, the old school way that they just basically used puppeteering. They had action figures on little model speeder bikes when they were like mapping out the blocking out. I don't know. I'm not really too good with film terminology. But they just showed the old school way that they did animatics back in Return of the Jedi and contrasted it with the ways that they do it in the modern era. Really remarkable stuff. If you have the opportunity, go back and watch that panel if you haven't actually seen it. Don't want to skip anybody, but Big Barra Jace is here. How's it going, dude? Haven't seen you here in a while. Where can you watch Celebration? Star Wars YouTube channel. Streaming live all day long. In fact, okay, I turned it off on my TV, but again, it is here on my phone. There are two cats here that I don't recognize. Oh, no, is that Matt Lanter? That's Matt Lanter. Matt Lanter is currently live with somebody else that I definitely don't recognize. Oh, no, wait, that's James Arnold Taylor. Yep. Yes, it is. We've got, I think so. It's one of those voice actors from Clone Wars with 3 names. Yeah. It's not Matthew Wood. Anyway, but yeah, if anybody else is watching it on the other screen, tell me if that is not James Arnold Taylor. I'm pretty sure that's who it is. Anyway, moving right along. Tommy K has two screens going. That's good. That's good. I will never question your sanity. You are dedicated, my friend. There is Steve131. There is only one. There's the one in London. That's the only one going on. They have it in a different city every year. I think it usually bounces back and forth between London, Orlando, and Anaheim. Sliding down, Brandy Woods is here. Hey, Brandy Woods. Yeah, I think Billy D's not. Yeah, he's having a bad time there. PRP from the sunny state of Florida is here. It may be sunny again. Florida gets cloudy in a heartbeat and a half, as I recall. It's been a long time since I was there. In fact, the last time I was in Florida was for Star Wars Celebration. That was in 2017. So that's been a while. Desmond Hessing, as I said, is here. Hello, sir. Welcome. Hope we got a lot to talk about today. So I hope you stay tuned. Darth Kerbebe is here. Hello. How's it going, man? I recognize you from Paul's live stream. Everybody knows Paul's son, Hyun Lee here. But I think this might be your first time in the chats here. Refresh my memory if not. But anyway. TK421 is here. TK421 actually already did his unboxing of Clone Trooper Jesse. And as always, it was a tight little production. Yeah. I wish I could say that you were the one that pushed me over the fence to getting it, but I was already there, dude. And, well, the figure was already here. Yeah, you just beat me to it. You win again! You're always winning. TK421 Collectibles, check out his channel. I love it very much. John Galgano is here. Hello, John. Another amazing Star Wars fan. Always beats me in Star Wars trivia, much to my, I was going to say great dismay, but no, I'm delighted to lose to somebody like John Galgano. It's totally fine. It's fine. It's all fine. Where's my coffee? There it is. I'm just going to pimp somebody right here. As always, I'm drinking my coffee out of this fine mug from 3 Circle Pottery. Kind of get a focus, Nikon. Let me get my eyes out of the way. Maybe that'll help. But this beautiful copper-esque mug from 3 Circle Pottery. 3 Circle Pottery is basically Newt Lay, who is the, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and hope he's not, if I'm not, I'm hoping he's not watching this show. But he's the guy that played Judo Master in the Peacemaker series. An amazing potter. Go to his Etsy is 3 Circle Pottery. That's the number 3 Circle Pottery, all one word, no spaces. And go check that out because he's got a lot of great stuff. I have 2 mugs by him. I bought a mug for Brandy Woods for her birthday by him. So I've bought a few things from him. I also have a bowl here somewhere, but it broke in shipping. But I'm thinking about using that Japanese gold thing to reframe it. Club 6 scale is officially in full effect. Yeah. Rob Parisho is here. Hello, Rob. How are you today, man? It's good to see you, as always. Looks like I'm pouring coffee. Yeah. Gina B Collecting is here. How's it going, Gina? Good to see you, as always. Of course, I already chatted with you in the chats. Kumar is here. Hey, Kumar. Welcome. How late is it there? I mean, you're like you're like halfway around the world. So I just love having international audience. It's great. Let's see, Tommy K, Brandy Woods, Bad Wolf Media. Hey, Mike, how's it going, dude? Yeah. We'll get to that. We'll get to that panel. Oh, Matt Lanter's talking. Yay, Matt Lanter. Matt Lanter, by the way, famously had a cameo role in The Mandalorian in that Mandalorian as that poor deck officer, the pilot of the prison barge that met a gruesome end at the hands of Din Djarin's Twi'lek X. whose name I can't remember. Me? Forgetting name? Never. Only always. Let's see, have I reached the end? Nope. Dark Wolf Music Collectibles and More is here. Hey, Dark Wolf, welcome back. I've started filling out my homemade do-it-yourself Grand Army of the Republic, starting with my own Clone Legion. That's cool. That's delightful. Are you doing, what scale are you doing it in? Are you doing Lego? Are you doing 3 3/4? Or are you doing Black Series, 6-inch Black Series? Or are you doing Hot Toys? I myself am doing Hot Toys. It's becoming increasingly difficult as these things become more expensive and I become more poor. But that's just collecting is full of, made of hopes and dreams, most of them shattered, so. Lar Powell is here. Dooku is an awesome figure, my friend. I've actually owned it once before and can't remember why I got rid of it. But I'm grateful to my friend Guy for having one available, unopened, as the case was. He had it just sitting in the box. And I was able to send him one of his most coveted figures, that being the Patrol Trooper from Solo. So we did a well, I think I sent him a little bit of money too. I'm sure that I sent him a little bit of money, but not much. Not much. He gave me a great deal on it. Brandy Woods busting out with Free the Axe. I'm going to keep this going as long as I can, man. I'm going to keep this going as long as I can. That Axe Woes is a jerk. He's a jerk. But is he, though? I don't think it's all that cut and dried. We'll see. That's the one thing they talked about during some of the live stream today on for Star Wars Celebration. But they talk a lot about how there's just no actual... Black and white, dark and light doesn't exist. It's not that polarized. There's legitimately a sliding scale. And it got me to thinking about, where do the various Sith fall on that sliding scale? Where do the various Jedi fall on that sliding scale? Because, I mean, we saw Anakin slide down that scale, for instance. Mace Windu, I think, went a little bit towards the darker side. He flirted a little bit with that stuff in his lightsaber techniques and in other things as well. So it's a really interesting topic of conversation that I would like to continue at some point. I don't know that we'll do it right now because I still have to get through saying hello to everybody. Who am I skipping? I'm just reading these comments, and I'm not going to have time to bring them all up because, quite frankly, I don't want to have a 2-hour live stream today. I want to try to keep this right at an hour, and so we can all get back to what's important, which is Star Wars Celebration. For those of us who are planning to do it, Keith Lee, I had given up hope that you would be here, my friend. I assumed that you would be watching Star Wars Celebration, and just, well, not make it. Oh, me of little faith. There is definitely time to discuss the new die-cast C-3PO, Gina. I'm thrilled for it. I'm thrilled about the Return of the Jedi Vader, most especially because I did predict that those would be dropping for the 40th anniversary. Not publicly, because I try not to speculate too much publicly. I think that my bosses frown on that. But because there's always the potential that they may get the idea that I had some insider information on it. Which, by the way, guys, I never do. Trying to figure out why I was having to lean my head back to actually see things in focus. It's because I'm wearing the wrong glasses. There we go. These are my, computer glasses. But I think it looks really, really good. I think it looks, the weathering on it looks amazing. And if they can pull that off in post, and there's nothing to suggest that Hot Toys won't be able to pull that off in production, then I think it's going to be a really, really great figure. I have some... To me, the head looked a little small, but I have to go back and look at Return of the Jedi. It's been a long time since I've seen Return of the Jedi. What I've seen more often than Return of the Jedi is my Sideshow C-3PO figure. So it could be there's just a discrepancy there. My perception is skewed by the Sideshow figure. So maybe that's what I'm seeing, but I'll have to go back and compare. And maybe not. It's just not all that important to me. And I'm just going to admit right here that I have not ordered either one of those figures. And I probably won't. I have the Empire Strikes Back Vader, perfectly fine for me. I have the Sideshow C-3PO, also perfectly fine for me. It came down to finances. For me, the money that I could be spending on each of those figures can be directed towards a character that I don't have represented in my collection. So yeah, that's as with all things collecting, it's very, very personal. Nobody can nor should anybody tell you what to collect. Although I guess that's kind of my job description, right? tell people what to buy. That's totally cool. Yeah, that's fine. We're all fine here. Thank you. How are you? Dark Wolf is asking another question. Do you think they will discuss the finale of Bad Batch Season 2 and Tech's death at Star Wars Celebration? It's anybody's guess. It's anybody's guess. I didn't get to watch much Celebration yesterday because I was working and I couldn't. What I was doing, I needed to be able to hear things. And editing video, I need to be able to hear things, so I couldn't have something else playing in the background, sadly. I tried to catch up on a little bit of it last night, but I didn't get to watch much. I legitimately slept on the couch last night so that I could wake up and just not have to bother with getting out of bed, just turn on the TV when it started, and I legitimately did. At 6 o'clock in the morning, I'd been awake for 10 minutes, turned on the TV when I got the notification, and I've been watching Star Wars Celebration ever since. And it's been really an emotional... I've gotten choked up a time or two just when somebody walked on screen. I mean, yeah. And can I just say that after watching the cast of Ahsoka on stage talking about the show and thrilling to everything around them, I have utter confidence between that and the trailer that this is going to be one of the best offerings of Star Wars that we've had to date, if not the best. We'll see. We'll see. Everything's on a sliding scale, right? Luis is here. Hey, Luis. Loving the recently announced Return of the Jedi Vader with Force Lightning helmet effect, as we talked about. Yeah, it's the helmet effect is great. Again, not enough to push me over the edge, but man, for those of you who are getting that figure, it's gonna be amazing. I hope that they were able to do it with a USB connection. Well, time will tell. Time will tell. I've actually had somebody reach out to me privately and say, "Hey, do you know if that's going to be USB or battery powered?" And the answer is no. I don't know if it's going to be USB or battery powered. I found out about it the same way you guys did. Woke up in the morning, Hot Toys had a post on Facebook, and now I know. Oh, it's 10:15 there. Hey, Kumar. Wow. Oh, the life-size TIE... Steve is asking about the life-size TIE Fighter. I'm assuming that you mean... I'm assuming you're talking about the one at Celebration, or were you talking about the really weird April Fool's joke that somebody posted up on social media, where they're pulling a TIE Fighter out of a truck, Hot Toys life-size TIE Fighter? That was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. Mr. Imagination is here. Hey, John, you're doing some great art lately, dude. Yep, Mr. Imagination, he's actually diving into Pokemon territory recently, and just anime territory in general, and I just love the look of it. I just love what he's doing with it. I think I said it to you in chats. I think you found your niche. I think that's worth pursuing. You should do more of that. And if that gets noticed, dude, there's seriously nothing stopping you. Good for you, dude. Good for you. Yeah, Dark Wolf Music has answered my question. It turns out that he's doing Hot Toys. He's doing his army building in Hot Toys. Yeah, it's hard to do. It's hard to do, but I somehow managed to pull it off. Perks, as well as, buying things. I bought 4 of the Coruscant Guard. 4. They're still in the boxes downstairs. I haven't even opened them. I don't think I've even opened one. Matt Lanter is indirectly responsible for Paul making friends with Din Djarin. Is that right? I must have missed that episode of Paul Sun-Hyun Lee's live stream on Bitter Asian Dude Inc. But yeah, that's really, really cool. I would like to hear that story from him at some point. F. Wellington's here for the Count Dooku hot toy. All right. Yeah, you love that figure? You've got it? Yeah, it's amazing likeness. I have had it open. And I owned it before, and I don't think I ever had it on display. I could be wrong. It might have been on display when I lived in Charlotte. There were so many things on display when I lived in Charlotte. It was amazing. I loved that room. I loved that room almost as much as I love this room that I'm in now. Speaking of which, time for a little bit of show and tell. I have a desk update. Remember last week that I showcased this image of my desk that you guys, this is the area that you guys don't get to see. This is legitimately, aside from a cup of coffee and an extra hard drive and a new lightsaber that I'll show you guys during show and tell here in a minute, and a few papers associated with my taxes because I'm late on getting my taxes done as usual. But that's what it looks like. Yeah, there's an Axe Woes figure there now too. But I did a bit of a. Just go ahead and can I do this without? Sorry, I'm still learning the wonders of OBS. And I'm thinking that with some of the super chat money that I've been getting from you guys, thank you so much. It does mean a lot, but I've got more than enough now to pay for next year's subscription of music for Saturday Morning Toy Tunes, because how do you have Saturday Morning Toy Tunes without tunes? So I think I might divert some of those funds to upgrading my streaming software, and I might just go ahead and go for StreamYard. It seems like you can do a lot more with StreamYard than you can with OBS, or at the very least, it's much more user-friendly. I'm not the guy to go with open source. I'm not savvy enough. Maybe I should just work on that and accept the new challenge. But anyway, moving right along. Here is the update, and it's very, very topical. But here's the update to my desk. Without further ado, boom! Look at that beauty. Look at that beauty. Still available at Sideshow.com, the Ahsoka Tano premium format figure from Star Wars Rebels. From Star Wars Rebels. And I've been looking at the paint, and you'll notice, by the way, that the Clone Trooper and what is it? The Clone Trooper and Yoda versus Clone Trooper premium format figure is no longer on my desk. It's actually sitting in my it's actually sitting on my kitchen counter right now. Yeah, shameful, I realize. Yeah. But yeah, so there was my little bit of show and tell. Hope you all enjoyed that. Yeah, that's available at Sideshow.com. Fairly high edition size, but I think that it's going to sell out eventually. But what I was getting to was the paint applications are remarkably close to those that we see on Sideshow's Ralph McQuarrie trio of statues. There was a McQuarrie Stormtrooper, which is right here. You actually saw it in that photo. I'll bring that back up. But and also they had the concept Boba Fett, which was just a thing of beauty. It's currently in my living room on display on the floor of all things. I need to find a permanent home for that. And there was also a McQuarrie Darth Vader statue, but you can see there on just to the right of my monitor the McQuarrie Stormtrooper statue from Sideshow. Different scale than the Ahsoka Tano. This is 5th scale. That whole line was 5th scale as opposed to 1/4 scale, which is the premium format line. And yeah, so that's something. Anyway, how do we get on that subject? Oh yeah, 14 Wellington with his Count Dooku thing. David Lynchen is here. Hey, dude. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that Dooku is in the top 10 greatest head sculpts by Hot Toys. Although there are a lot of good ones coming down the pipe. Yeah, we saw those updates that came up last week for, like, Shuri, for instance. I'm trying to think if any of them were Star Wars related, and I don't think that they were. I think that they were all Marvel related, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I've been so wrong about so many things this week. Maybe I'll get to that, maybe I won't. But I legitimately thought that Matt Smith, when we saw the back of that Thrawn head, and with that walk and everything, and I'd heard a rumor from some of my friends in Liverpool that Matt Smith might be playing Grand Admiral Thrawn. And I've been pulling for Lars Mikkelsen this entire time, because in my mind, that voice, the way he presented Thrawn in Star Wars Rebels, I didn't know how you could not have Lars Mikkelsen playing Thrawn. But if you were going to, Matt Smith would have been a very perfect alternative, and probably the only one that would have thrilled me as much as just the idea of it did. So when I saw him with that walk, and it looked very much Matt Smith, I legitimately thought it was him. In fact, I posted to Facebook that I'm almost certain that we're going to have two doctors in the house for Ahsoka. The other one being David Tennant, who voices the, can't remember his name, the Jedi training droid, the one who takes the younglings to get their lightsaber crystals on that planet somewhere. I'm Star Wars expert. Shit. Caleb Miller, Knight of Ren 789 in the house. How's it going, man? Everybody's loving on the idea of Dooku. I think that it's going to have to be Dooku that gets opened up today. So I'll let Guy know. Maybe he'll actually tune in this time. Poor guy. He likes to sleep in on Saturdays. What's wrong with him? Everybody's loving on Dooku. TK421, loving on Dooku. Yeah, dudes. Yeah, again, so many emotions this week. I mean, I wasn't expecting the Ahsoka trailer to drop. I don't know why. Just wasn't thinking about it. But as soon, I mean, I've never said out loud OMFG. Only, not OMFG. More times in a row than I did during that Ahsoka trailer. And just the screaming, the yelling. I mean, again, legitimately apologies to my neighbors, anybody who's watching this who had to listen to me yell about that trailer. geek out about that trailer as much as I did. I haven't been so thrilled at a reveal in my memory. I don't think anything made me geek out quite so much. Did they announce USB for the Vader? That would be great. That would be great. I mean, obviously, if they don't do it at this point, we've seen that they seem to be making the move to USB. I think a lot of that has to do with the restrictions in shipping to Australia. Australia's not allowing those batteries to be shipped in, so that might have something to do with it. But whatever the reason, it's a welcome thing. One of the reasons that I don't use any of my light up features on any of my pieces is because the batteries just don't last long enough, and to just do it for short periods of time isn't worth some of the hassle that you have to go through just to get access to the switches, the Iron Man armors, the pieces you have to take off and everything. It just takes a long time. It's good for photography, but not so great for a display. Oh, Keith, man, that's very kind. Yeah, that's yeah. I don't agree. But I accept your heartfelt compliment in the spirit in which it's given. Thank you, sir. That was... Huh. Carson Teva, after saving Mando from the spiders, said they saw Mando try to save the prison pilot, so they let him go. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I get it. Thanks, Luis. Yeah, I'm really happy with my desk. I'm really happy with it, especially when it's not cluttered. It's kind of cluttered right now, but in moments like what you saw there, right after I've just gotten done cleaning all the clutter off of the desk, yeah, I just sit back and I'm just like, yeah, I did a good thing. I did a very good thing. Anybody score some stuff this week? I did. It was a usual week for me, dipping into the DC world and picked up the Tumblr and Batpod. Wow. Helping to contribute to Terry's salary. For now. Yeah, those are both great things. I actually had helped my friend Scott set up. I gave my friend Scott a Hot Toys Tumblr for Christmas this year, and or was it his birthday? No, it was Christmas. It was Christmas. And helped him set it up in his house, and it's a thing of beauty. It's the second one I've had in my possession, and I've given both of them away. That's the kind of pal I am. Had nothing. I swear it has nothing to do with the fact that I get these things and then realize that I don't have room for them. That might be why. What has been my favorite part of Star Wars Celebration thus far? I was actually going to ask all you that. But legitimately, so far, my favorite thing of Star Wars Celebration has been all of the panels that we saw this morning. I can see they're getting ready to bring somebody else on. But I was delighted to see all the cast of Ahsoka just being brought on in bits and pieces. Watching them interact, seeing their joy when they see that crowd for the first time. Can you imagine what that's like? I can't. I've been in the crowd, but never on stage. I can't imagine a time where I ever will be. Oh, Billy D. Williams is coming out onto stage. Okay. Good luck, Billy. You got this. You got this, dude. We have faith. What have we here? This is the name of Billy D. Williams' autobiography. Oh, Bad Wolf Media bought books this week. Good for you. Are you going to read them? Or are you going to be like me and just let them pile up? So many books that I have that I just have not read. Some I haven't even cracked open. TK421 likes my statue of Ahsoka. It really, really is. It really is a stunning statue. I mean, I'm sitting here marveling at it. That's right. I said marvel in a Star Wars conversation. I like the little Morai. There was a guy that whose video I watched before picking it up, just to see if I really, really wanted it. And I didn't find very many videos on the Ahsoka PF. At least not from the more renowned statue reviewers. I didn't see a whole lot from a lot of people whose names I recognize. So it was my first time watching this dude. I can't remember his name. He did a really fine job. He did point out that the Morai on the base has a tendency, it's a little off balance. If you push it slightly, it could tip over. But he did show that there is a way that you can actually put the base, the Morai base, up against the Ahsoka base that will prevent that from happening. Not that you're going to be going back behind Morai and poking him. If anything, you're going to poke the opposite direction. And just tell everybody right now, if you're ever in my house and I catch you poking my statues, yeah, you know what's coming. You know what's coming. Oh, John Galgano has that Ahsoka PF. Of course you do. Of course you do. And, you know, I was a little bit concerned about the size of her lightsaber hilts, but in my binge watch of Rebels, I paid close attention to it this time. And that's accurate. That's accurate. And the thing about that I noticed about lightsabers in Rebels, they never stay the same size. Like Kanan's lightsaber looks freaking huge in some shots, but other times it looks really, really small. That's just how it goes when you're working with 3D animation. You get to tweak and adjust and transform things in real time while you're editing. So yeah. Oh, that's kind of cool. Speaking of our friend and benefactor Paul Sun-Hyun Lee, yeah, Bad Wolf Media picked up a copy of the original Kim's Convenience play. Wow, way cool. Wow, man, that was a huge jump. I'm already so far behind. How does that happen? I legitimately thought nobody would be here because of Star Wars Celebration. Instead, yeah, currently rocking 38 viewers. That's on the high side for this live stream, in case no one knew. Last week we broke a record and broke 50 for the first time. Really thrilled, really thrilled. And I did a better job last week of keeping up the conversation than I'm doing today. Is there one area in your house that doesn't have any form of pop culture in it? Yes, my bathroom. Oh, that's not true. That's not true, because the soap is Star Wars soap. From, oh God, what's the name of it? I can't remember the name of the company, but you see them advertised on social media all the time. But they have, my sister got me a set of Star Wars soap, and it's currently waiting in the wings. I'm not going to be that guy that gets the Star Wars soap and doesn't use it. I'm totally going to wash my bod with the Yoda soap. Oh, seeing right now, we got ourselves, from TK421 Collectibles, £4.99p. Thank you for the super chat there, dude. Thanks for your video of the Anakin and step. Love the pose. Replicated it with mine, but not as good a I'm sure it's great, dude. Yeah, you're no slouch. I've seen your poses. You're dedicated to the craft, and it shows. Seriously. But thank you so much for the super chat. As mentioned, that is going to go, hopefully, to upgrading my my setup here. Yeah. Also, I have to swap out I got a new hard drive for my computer, so I have to swap that out this week. Waiting for, with the iMacs, you actually have to peel the glass on the iMac monitors is attached by glue. So you have to take this little like cookie cutter, or not cookie, like a pizza cutter, a little tiny pizza cutter, and get down there behind the glass and just rip off all that adhesive. And then you have to have replacement adhesive, double-sided tape, to put it back on. So it's going to be probably a nightmare. I'm probably going to screw it up. In which case I'll just take it to the shop and let them do it for way too much money. But anyway, thank you so much, TK421, for that $4.99 super chat. Appreciate you so much, sir. And again, I think last week I missed a super chat, at least one, from OG fan when Star Wars was just Star Wars. So if you're watching, thank you so much for that super chat last week, and apologies for missing it. Again, there were a lot of people chatting, and I think that it just jumped right by, and I didn't notice the little highlight up there. So yeah, many thanks. Brandy Woods is making stuff. Oh man, okay, yep. Brandy Woods throwing down the knowledge of my domicile. Yep, that's right, she's been here. Oh, what is your wife pushing you to pick up? I must have missed a comment. Oh, the Batman. Yeah. Yeah, good for you, 14 Wellington, for picking up that Batman. It's a really cool figure. Yeah. Gina B. Collecting is signed up for StreamYard. You really enjoy the user interface? Okay, OBS is more powerful, but StreamYard is designed for ease and simplicity. That's what I need. And I'm curious what you mean by more powerful, because I'm an idiot when it comes to stuff like this. Professor Hu Yang, there we go. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Legitimately, one of my friend's proudest moments was when his kid recognized Professor Hu Yang. It's just such a cool thing. And David Tennant was the perfect voice for that character. Perfect voice for that character. Still would like to see him show up in Star Wars in a live action capacity, but we'll have to see how that goes. Christina Payne, bringing the pain. How's it going, Christina? Thanks for joining us, and thank you for reminding people to hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, feel free. I promise it will be painless, mostly. Depends on my mood. Just scrolling down the chats. Mike Games is here. Hello, Mike Games. They changed my schedule and now I work Saturdays. Thank you, man. Your only Saturday off and you came here. Damn. To you, I am humbled and honored. Let's see. Oh, looks like they've cycled in. They're looking at purses now and backpacks. I'm just looking at the Star Wars live stream right now, but not missing much. That's good. That's good. Yeah, I hope so. Kent Pool Collects is here. My friend Kent. How's it going, Kent? From the a city that I never got a chance to love because of COVID while I lived there. Legitimately, COVID took over the world shortly after I moved to Charlotte, North Carolina. And, yeah, sadly, yeah, everything went belly up in a ditch. Oh, Darth Kerbebe got the Mandalorian and Bo-Katan 101 helmets. I have both of those. They're in my bedroom. If you were thinking about breaking into my house to steal them, let me just save you some time. That's where they are. Oh, did that happen? Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about Acolyte. I missed the Acolyte thing. I do know that there's a Wookiee Jedi. I do know that it's High Republic, which is an area of Star Wars in which I have not yet dipped my toes. I know nothing about the High Republic other than the time period in which it's based. Quite frankly, and that's an informed decision on my part because I'm like, I don't have time. Just don't. I want to say that it's all in books and comic books, right? There's no other content apart from that, as far as I'm aware. I don't know. I've stopped reading. I hope that changes soon. I'm taking steps to shall we say, alter my brain chemistry. We'll see, and we'll see if that does anything for me. Favorite part of Star Wars Celebration is the release of trailers and announcement of figures. Yeah, dude, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Kind of makes me wonder what Hot Toys has waiting in the wings for May the 4th. Anybody else have that thought? Anybody else have any predictions? I predict a Wookiee. I predict a Wookiee with an option to buy him with a C-3PO on his back. Although that's Empire. We'll see. Oh, another big jump. Oh, no. The thing about big jumps is when I scroll back up, it gives me an idea of just how far behind I am, and I'm not doing too bad. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Yeah, the Boba premium format is definitely well done, and the Ahsoka Tano from the TV show also is very well done. That's on point, Rosario Dawson. Love it to pieces, and I mean, obviously this is good, but it's based on animated, so there's a little bit more room for error when you're doing an animated character, bringing that to life, but yeah, legitimately, it just looks so good. I'm so happy with it. But now I have to find a place to put my Yoda and Clone Trooper. I might move Thanos. Tell me what you think. Dude. Out. Get out. No. Never gonna happen. There's a funny story, but and I'm still not entirely sure that they're not messing with me, but when I went out to I can't remember where I went. I was gone for a bit. But it was probably out to California. And I had some friends house sitting for me while I was out there. And I had just taken photos of some of my 6-scale stuff in my DTOF. And when I came back, obviously I didn't go straight to the figures. I swear. But I went, eventually I wound up walking by and looking at the Boba Fett Deluxe 2-pack, that, you know, with Boba in his armor and Boba in his Tusken gear, and noticed that they were touching each other, which is something I never ever do. I never do that. I never have figures touching each other. This is when I went to SDCC. That's what this was. And I was like, what's up with that? And then I remembered that I'd just taken a photo of it and I looked at the photo, and sure enough, right before I headed out the door to go to Comic-Con, those two figures were not touching. So something happened while I was here, or while I was not here, and those two figures wound up touching each other. To this day, my house sitters, who are very dear friends of mine, maintain that they didn't touch anything. In fact, they were just horrified, and I think a little bit insulted, because they thought that I thought that they did it just to mess with me. Here, let's move this thing a little bit and see if Terry notices. And sure enough, I did. But apparently not. Anyway. Oh, I haven't paid too much attention to that premium format, to be honest. It was never even remotely on my radar. And that was at a time where I was already moving away from statue collecting. Ahsoka being the only exception. At least I think Ahsoka is the only exception. I've ordered quite a lot this month. It's kind of crazy how much money I spent. You know what I ordered? I ordered a solo stove. Yeah. So we're going to be burning stuff. Boston Collectors is here. That's another great YouTube channel. And if dare I say, a man whose voice is much more soothing than my own. But yeah, great video quality on his channel. Check it out, because he's got some cool stuff. Oh, dude, that would be fun. That would be fun. But again, as I said on my thing last week, I doubt I go to any more conventions. I'm just not into crowds. Commander Green is here. Check out his Instagram, because he's got some great figure photography. I haven't seen any this week. That's on me, not on you, probably. You've probably been out there, and I just haven't been looking at Instagram. Squatch soap is indeed the soap that I was talking about. Squatch soap. Did you use them? How do they smell? Because they smell kind of basic to me. I've opened them up and sniffed them, and I'm just like, that is some pretty basic soap. I've got good soap. And, yeah, that's... Yeah. I spend way too much money on soap. Yeah, dude, that's the thing. Finding something Star Wars... Steve Nara wants something Star Wars in each room, but can't find anything that's not super cheesy for the bathroom. You know, there's a company out there that makes Star Wars towels. And I want to say that... I just saw a comment from Keith Lee that's hilarious. I want to say that they're Star Wars towels. You can't really tell. They're just very subtle designs, kind of like those Star Wars rugs from Ruggable. If you haven't looked at the Star Wars rugs from Ruggable, I like legitimately showed this rug that I have in my studio to my then wife, who's, well, we're not divorced yet, but you know, and she was just like, that is a gorgeous rug. She just freaked out and just, where'd you get that? And I just like smiled, and I was like, look closer. Because when you look closer, you see the little tiny baby Grogu that's forming one of the patterns, the Grogu head silhouette. And you see the little tiny Darksabers that are all in line, forming the lines. And it's just really, really neat with the way that they're able to pull that off. You have Star Wars stuff in your house that you only know is Star Wars if you look closely at it. And I know that there's a company out there that makes towels that will do that very thing. Oh, Duke Cannon has a Star Wars soap? That's cool. I actually use Duke Cannon quite frequently. Their Buffalo Trace bourbon soap is my soap of choice. The Darkest Night is here. I don't know. Can you get darker than the Darkest Night? We were talking about the sliding scale of light and dark. Checking the time here because I want to get that figure out soon. You have to go through the monitor to replace the hard drive. What? Yeah, dude. Well, that's what you get when everything is in one piece, like the iMacs are. That's how they've always been since the inception of the iMac. You legitimately have to. In previous incarnations, my earliest iMac, the monitor was attached with magnets, and you would just grab a couple of powerful suction cups, and just pull the monitor off. Not anymore. For whatever reason, they opted out of that. I don't know. Magnets and hard drives potentially, I think they have issues with each other there. But yeah, it's a challenge to work on them. But I'm going to rise to that challenge. I may need help. Scott, if you're watching, I'm going to need you. Count Von Strange the Fourth is here. What's good? What isn't? This is a great 2 days, man. And this has been a really emotional 2 days, great 2 days, a lot of stuff going on. I'm seeing right now that Ming-Na Wen is currently on stage at Star Wars Celebration. She's talking to some dude. Sorry, not to disrespect the host, because they're doing a remarkable job, but I just don't see them enough to know who they are. Wow, there's a lot of chatting going on. I'm never going to get through these chats. Oh, that would be something. That would be something, Count Von Strange. I would love to see a Greedo hot toy as well. I actually gave away my Sideshow Greedo. Yeah, gave it to a friend, and then the friend ghosted me. I don't think it was personal. I think he's going through some shit. Because he also shut down his Facebook page. Hot Toys Jabba. Yes, it did, didn't it? That base did look like a Jabba's Palace design. Did Sideshow ever sell out of theirs? That Jabba is perfectly adequate. I would totally go for that Jabba if I had the money. It's not that I don't have the money. It's basically 4 Hot Toys figures. Yeah, to get that Jabba, I think. I can't remember. What was it? $7.99? It's probably sold out by now. I'm sure that if it wasn't sold out before December, it probably went bye-bye during BOGO. Oh, you know, John, I don't know that, I think, again, I've talked about this before on the channel, I think. Maybe I've just talked about it with Guy. Sometimes I get the two things confused. Not getting any younger. But I really do think that it's just a matter of release schedules and trying to plot out the timeline of their release schedules. And the thing about the OT is that's always going to be there, and that's always going to draw. People are always going to be in line to buy OT figures. I'm not one of those people. That's not in my collecting umbrella, under my collecting umbrella. But what they are wanting to do right now is they want to push through all the stuff from the new content. And I guess the thought is, and this is just my thought on it, you have to rely on the ebb and flow of people's enthusiasm. And when something is new and hot, that's when you want to put it out there, because eventually people are going to lose interest in that when the next big thing comes along. There's a very short attention span that most collectors have. And, you know, we'll see that when a figure comes out to massive acclaim, to massive aplomb, and then that figure winds up being on Sideshow's site for a really long time. It's because originally there was a lot of enthusiasm for the figure, and then as new stuff was released, that's where they shifted their pre-orders to. But again, that's just speculation on my part. If there's no Carson Teva figure shown at the Hasbro panel coming up in 15 minutes, we riot. Okay, I'm game. Where do we go? Where are we meeting? St. Louis folks, where are we going to riot? Toys R Us isn't a thing around here anymore, is it? Yes, I would say the Jabba would definitely be too big for a DTOF. It's very dramatic, this music. Oh, Keith Lee says he loves his solo stove. And by the way, that was a great crack about me taking off my t-shirt when we get to 100 viewers. I'll do that. I'll do that. If the day we hit 100 viewers, I'll take off my t-shirt. I better start working out. Anyway. But yeah, getting back to the solo stove. Yeah, I got the bonfire. I didn't go for the Yukon. I have a very small patio out there, and I do plan on building a deck in my backyard. It's going to be like a low deck, but it's going to sprawl. So that'll be fun. But I don't know. Can you put a solo stove on a deck? Is that safe? I don't feel like that's safe on a wood deck. Oh, they had a celebration in Chicago. I forgot all about that. Politely invited by Lucasfilm Licensing to save my gas. That's funny. That's a funny way to look at it. Okay, well now I know. Oh yeah. Boston Collectors has a ruggable. Smoke him if you got him is here, dude. That's great. You know it's going to be a good day when Terry's on. Thanks, dude. That's really kind. That's really kind. Linda is here as well. That's weird. Yeah, I actually, past couple weeks, I've actually had I've been on the ball and actually got everything set up the night before the stream because I got tired of having to rush to get it done at the last minute. Can I just tell everybody how much I adore Ming-Na Wen? She's so smart and so geeky and so lovely. Ming-Na. And that's all I have to say about that. Anybody else new in here? Oh, that's a massive jump. Kumar says, my advice to you, get a shop or someone knows how to change the drive to do it. Did it once and never will do it again. That sticky stuff to remove it was such a pain. Yeah, that's exactly what I heard. I watched somebody's YouTube video on how to do it. He said that he's never done anything like this before, and he said it was actually much easier than he expected. I'm sure that it's such a pain, but quite frankly, with what they're charging, with what they want to charge me to put the hard drive in at the shop that I go to, I could very easily get a Hot Toys figure, maybe 2, depending on the figures. Never stopped me before. Just kidding. Or am I? That was really inappropriate. I'm sorry, guys. Probably just let everybody down. I lost like 6 subscribers for that crack. Yeah, you know, okay, Desmond Hessing, as always, brings up a good point. There's some not good things going on even in Star Wars. Like, I miss seeing new actors. I don't like this new trend of casting every role with already famous people. It does get to be a little bit distracting. And as much as I enjoyed and laughed my butt off at the whole Lizzo, Jack Black Star Wars power couple thing, it was distracting. It gets to be a bit distracting. And I'm trying to understand the motivation behind it. This harkens back, you know what it puts me in mind of? Is the Batman, the 60s Batman TV show, when like every time you turned around there was a cameo of some famous actor showing up. And that's really where my mind goes. And I think that over time, people realize that was kind of a bad idea. And now, it's not my playground. It's not your playground. It's none of our playgrounds. It's Filoni and Favreau's playground and all of Lucasfilm's playground. And if that's what they want to do, then obviously they have the right to do it. And it doesn't always happen. It doesn't always take me out of it. But it does often enough that I actually get distracted. I don't know that it really alters my enjoyment of the show. But again, it's very distracting. That being said, now I'm going to leave that one untouched. Just gonna stroll back really quick to make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh my god, so many. TK421 says that the Sideshow Jabba is sold out and pricey on secondary market, to the shock of no one, least of all me. It was great. I think it wasn't without its challenges, but yeah, I thought it looked great. I would definitely own one if somebody gave it to me. Retails for $849. I think they jacked it up. I think originally it was $799, and that was one of those things that over time they needed to. Ming-Na met her husband on Michael Rosenbaum's podcast. That's a solid podcast. It really is. I like that guy a lot. I have a Michael Rosenbaum story that I will not utter here. But if we're ever in private, then maybe I will. Totally forgot about her being on ER, Gina. Totally forgot about her being on ER. And I think that's actually where I first saw her. I think so. Yeah, I was trying to figure out a while back. I was trying to figure out, where did I first see her? And I guess I could have gone to IMDb and answered that question. Yeah, dude, I'm seriously looking at Ming-Na Wen at 60. I'm just like, Ming-Na Wen, 60 is the new 35. Come on. Oh, okay. You guys do deeper dives than I do. Don't tell my bosses that. So, okay, do they only do Celebration every other year? No, because they did it 2 years in a row here. Orlando next year. Okay, that's cool. And I'm comfortable with that. Again, I mean, it's Jack Black. You know, what else do you expect? And for me, it worked. Again, the whole thing worked. Yeah, it was funny. It showed a different side of Star Wars, and I liked the story that it told. A lot. I'm looking forward to watching it again. I've watched it twice. That's cool, John. You were able to pick him up with rewards. Did you have enough rewards to not have to pay anything? That would be cool. That's a lot of rewards. But I'm not surprised. You were such a rabid sideshow fan. Just looking over my Ahsoka. Don't mind me. Caleb is going to Orlando if they do it, and they will. It'll be back to Orlando, you can bet. I mean, there aren't many cities that have the capacity to host the logistics, the infrastructure set up to handle a crowd of that size. In fact, I'm surprised that Anaheim can handle it. But I guess with everything, with everything like Disney related, then it's not their first rodeo. They're able to handle that. Oh, look at that! Andy Serkis is on stage now at Celebration. That's great. He was so good in Andor. We all loved Jack Black's beard. And if you didn't love Jack Black's beard, then you're lying. Really? They did a celebration in Indianapolis. Yeah, I have no memory of that whatsoever. Do you remember what year? If it was pre-Disney, then it was probably pre my move to California. Yeah, dude, I'll back that up 100%. I don't want to dive too much into toxic fandom today because I got a figure to open. But, yeah. I heard somebody say recently that nobody hates Star Wars as much as Star Wars fans. And I don't know that I 100% agree with the wording of that, but I do agree with the sentiment. And it's just appalling. And quite frankly, I won't associate with if I catch anybody talking shit like that, if I'm connected to them on social media, you're done. You're done. I will cut all ties with you. I will not be associated with you in any way. Yeah, I think a lot of that was because it was still kind of on that trailing edge of COVID. There's still a lot of concern. I felt the same way about SDCC when I was at SDCC last year. It was considerably smaller than the last time that I went. Considerably less populated, I should say. Very easy to move through the crowds, whereas opposed to like, you know, you felt like you were part of a herd of cattle being herded into a truck or a corral or whatever. And yeah, it was very, very much down. Con attendance was down. And I don't know how much of that has to do with the pandemic and how much of it has to do with the slowish shift to being less of a fan event, more of a trade show, which really does seem like where it's going. Yeah, con attendance is down. It's legitimately down, and by fans at any rate. And it's becoming much more difficult and much more expensive to get tickets. So yeah. Gina B. Collecting agrees that it totally crossed the line, dude. I mean, seriously, I better stop paying attention to these comments, or I'm going to start getting mad and start going off again. Every time I do that, it's the only time that I get dislikes on these things. When I went off on the She-Hulk rant, dislikes. It's like people were actually navigating to my channel to dislike it because of my my outburst. You know what? I'll make an exception for a Wookiee, bro. Yep, I'll make that exception all day, TN, to get myself a Wookiee. Wasn't really in love with the Chewbacca, either one of them. But I'm thinking that Hot Toys is probably perfecting their Wookiees right now. So we're going to see another Chewbacca at some point. I almost guarantee it. If they're going to do it, they want to do it right. They are great lovers of their craft, and they are very proud of what they create. And I think that's an attitude that exists on every level of that company, from the bottom all the way up to Howard. That's the key to their success. And I think there are companies out there who don't meet those criteria. That's all I'll say about that. Hey Lane, how's it going? Yeah, man, it's pretty cool, dude. It's the Count Dooku is really cool. In fact, I should probably just go ahead and get to opening that. Universal Key is here. Hello. The latest Mando episode just felt like a modern take on Cloud City to me. The Ugnaughts drove that point home. Dude, the look at Ugnaught culture in general. And I've spent some time with Ugnaughts he says. An Ugnaught. An Ugnaught. And you learned a lot. That's true, Din. Look at that. Is it going to focus? I don't understand what's wrong with my camera. Will it focus on my hand? Yeah, something's up. It's actually getting worse. There we go. There we go. And how quickly will it snap back? Not terrible. Yeah, I wonder if just the lens is getting tired. It's been doing this now for a better part of a year. Being on constant focus. And sometimes I actually leave it on overnight. Anyway, so yeah, here's Dooku. I'm gonna clear that chat away. Really quick, make sure that oh, Holly West is here. Man, I haven't seen you in a while, Holly. Yeah, good to see you. Welcome back. Yeah, but that was that Ugnaught thing was magical for me. I just loved it. Just the way that, you know, there was... Favreau showed an uncanny understanding of how language and culture can sometimes be imperfect for conveying... Language can be sometimes an imperfect vehicle for conveying culture. And I think we saw that a lot with... you know, the Ugnaughts were saying it's impossible for these droids to malfunction because we made them. And they were conveying their pride. They were right. Look at him. Will this pop right off? Oh yes, it will. Wow, that was easy. Will the boots? Will the boots? Oh, stretch that plastic. Stretch it. I think I'm gonna have to take a knife to it. Yep. Okay. It's fine. Paul, this is for you. Nothing can be easy. Nothing can be easy. Looking to see if I have a cutting implement on my desk, and I don't think that I do, so I'm gonna have to step away from the camera. I will be right back. Scissors are safer than knives. Professional poser tip. Ha! One down. Yeah, that's it. Trying to cut the tape and not the plastic is the hard part. Success. All right, everyone. Oh, look, there's even plastic between his hands and his wrists because, as we said, say it with me now, 1, 2, 3. Nothing can be easy. Thanks, Paul. Does he have that on a shirt? If not, missed opportunity, bro. Oh, that's great. The whole... Okay, this is fun. You want to see my technique for taking pegs out of hands? It's really, really technical. So if you ever buy a figure from me, know that there's a very good chance that my DNA may be all over the wrist pegs. Gonna think twice now, aren't you? Yeah, gotta do it twice. Wrist pegs are not tight. Oh, that was easy. And I was gonna switch that hand out anyway, so I still have to take the peg off. Ah. The downside to using this technique is since I've grown a mustache, it's become harder because frequently I will accidentally grasp some of my mustache hairs and wind up pulling my mustache. It hurts. Okay. Goodbye. Okay, so Dooku. Handless Dooku, which is actually screen accurate at some point, is a beautiful, beautiful figure. So let's see if I can get this thing to focus on him, and I probably won't be able to because, again, there we go! Thank you, Nikon! And this lighting isn't even all that flattering to it. Focusing on me, as always. You're kind of doing your job. So I'm going to pull out everything that I need. First of all, I'm going to get my cup of coffee out of the way because I don't know if you guys remember or not, but I very nearly dropped Queel's goggles into my coffee last week. So I need the figure. Obviously. Sorry, there's a hair in my mouth. It is, in fact, a mustache hair. See, I did it. I pulled it. Class Doe is here. What's going on, Prentice? That's not Class Doe. There we go. Good to see you, dude. Good to see you. You got here just in time for the posing session. Huh. Look, just looking at his lightsaber. Judging his lightsaber. Judging it. That's all I'll say. We don't need any force lightning. We don't need any of these gummies. And by gummies, I do mean the little holograms. Here's one of a little battle droid. Right? Focus. 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 Try that. My God. Yeah, guys. I'm sorry for this. I might have to send a lens in to be maintained. Yeah, Prentice. I mean, we were just talking earlier before you joined us, but a lot of us consider this to be one of Hot Toys' finest portraits of all time, which is, if you're going to focus on anybody in my mind, I mean, the great Christopher Lee is the one you want to focus on. I mean, I just love the gravitas that he brought to the role, and just the voice, that freaking voice. All right, got this. Where are my hands? We're getting to that point of the live stream where my voice starts to get tired. Let's see here. Oh, that's fun. Maybe I do want to swap out this hand. Yep, I do. Okay. All right, I need my posing table, aka my apple box. Come here, Dooku. Out of the way, out of the way. Apple box, apple box, apple box, apple box. I was thinking about singing on this channel recently. Let's see, is that tall enough? Yeah, let's go ahead and stand him on his stand. Oh, he's a tall dude. That stand's got to be taller than average, taller than usual. All right, so let's just go ahead and set that right here. Yes, Holly West, the head sculpt is beautiful. I totally agree. I couldn't agree more. Oh, that's... See, here's the thing about that Ahsoka trailer. That was a teaser trailer. And they revealed so much. And it just doesn't make sense that they would reveal everything. So that just raises the question, what haven't they revealed? What have they not revealed? Possibly the Nogri. Possibly the Nogri. I would really, really love to see the Nogri. Didn't we get a Nogri in Rebels? Was that what that critter was that was hunting the Rebels in the final season there? I think that was a Nogri. At least I always assumed it was a Nogri. If anybody knows any differently about that creature whose name I've forgotten, please let us know. Yeah. And if they do bring in the Nogri, are they gonna mention Vader's? What's up with this? What's going on? Shit. Every time I have to use teeth to pull out a wrist peg, an angel gets its wings. Oh, I'm never finding that hand again. Oh, there we go. Ha! I'm just going to check something here really quick. Wow. Okay. I cannot believe that Andy Serkis is still on stage at Celebration. He's been on there for a while, for a long freaking time, but that doesn't surprise me. The dude has a gift for gab. Met him once. It was kind of cool. It was at the Weta booth. It was around the Lord of the Rings days, or shortly after the Lord of the Rings days, and I was hanging out with a friend of mine who worked for Weta at the time. He's since left us, but he was like, "You want to hang out here for a little?" I was getting ready to go somewhere. He's like, "No, don't hang out here for a little bit." He wouldn't tell me why. So I just stayed there and was talking to him, and then some dude just comes up. See, out of the corner of my eye, some dude just comes up, stands right next to me, and my friend looks over at him, and I naturally, as you're inclined to do, I looked over, and it was just Andy Serkis just standing right there, and he just was looking at me with that big Andy Serkis grin, like, "Hey, how you doing?" Anyway, he was a character. I think that you would be hard-pressed to find that kind of an opportunity to run into Andy Serkis anymore. He's too... At the time, he was only famous for Gollum, which was only kind of his face. Oh, dang, that's too bad. I'll catch up on the replay, boss. Sure thing, man. You have a good day. Cool. Yeah, Rook. That's his name. Yeah, and he was a Nogri, right? Okay. Okay, this is... I'd forgotten about the boots. So I'm going to have to take great care of these boots, because I don't want them to flake. I don't think that they will. I have no reason to believe that they will. But who knows? Oh, it's a very stiff hand. Oh, I should have put the saber in first, but maybe I'll get lucky. And yeah, not so hard after all. I love that curved. Is there a real world equivalent of a sword with a curved grip like that? I don't know. All right, so this is what I'm thinking. It's going to be kind of basic. I mean, I could do an action pose, but who the hell has that kind of time? So, and who the hell has that kind of space? As I've talked about on here before, I tend to go for museum poses mainly because they take up less shelf space, less real estate. And also because they're a challenge in and of themselves. You really have to finesse a museum pose just to get it to look right, because people aren't distracted by the grand movements or the overly extended arm or anything like that as they would be in an action pose. So they pay more attention to how natural the figure looks in that museum pose. Does it look like a way that a person would genuinely stand? In fact, I've been called out on that quite often in the past. It's been a while. The curved hilt, Clasto says, is common in the Filipino arts. Thanks, Prentice. Thanks. That's I'm gonna look into that. Thank you. So what I'm thinking, posing by proxy, for those of you who are like me are missing unsealed. Oh, do I have a saber?
Do I have a lightsaber?
Man. I don't have a lightsaber, but I have a dark saber. It's really dusty. So what I'm thinking is Dooku's going to be just standing kind of like at almost like just kind of I don't know what kind of stance this is that I'm called, but my feet are actually just a little bit like 45-degree angle, one slightly in front of the other. But take this hand, which is kind of the force-wielding hand, and then do the cape back like this, and just have like he's just done that flourish that he does, where he just has the saber out here like this and slightly back. So, man, this thing looks really good on camera, doesn't it? Anyway. I do not respect my darksaber. That thing was way too dirty. Ah, yeah, Dao. Okay, cool. Scimitars, Eastern sabers. All right, cool. Right. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't even need to do anything. His posture. Oh well, I mean, I'm controlling the posture right now, but Christopher Lee's posture, just standing there, he just looks so regal. The costume design is on point. Really love the softness of this cape. Double layered. You can see there's just spin it around here so I can better showcase it. But you can see that there are two layers to this cape. Right? Let me just clear Kumar's comment off. Look at that. So you got this more satin look on the inside, but then this just really soft, like velvet that's going on. It looks like downscaled velvet. It's amazing. It's amazing how good this looks. Anthony Daniels is right now taking the stage at Star Wars Celebration. And he's wearing a gold sport coat. Blazer. He loves his job. Nobody loves his job more than Anthony Daniels. Okay, so let's go ahead and rotate this. I'm gonna put this out here a little bit because what I want is for this hand to be kind of just holding the cape out of the way, like that. Now he's leaning a little bit to one side, and that might be a cause for concern or not. There we go. Okay, I just had one leg slightly, the right leg was slightly shifted to the right, and it kind of gave him a very crooked appearance, which is the last thing that I wanted. Let's go ahead and turn that saber. Now, the stand might interfere with what I had in mind. Oh, not only that, but the it does appear as if, wow, he's really looking crooked. Shift that torso. Twist it. I don't want him looking straight at me. This is where I begin to. I'm out of practice with how to be a poser, so talking and posing at the same time, because that was always a challenge for me, even when we were shooting how to be a poser in the studio, and I had a team working with me. Frequently, the guys would have to be like, "Talk about what you're doing. Talk about what you're doing," and I would way too often forget to do that. I would constantly have to be reminded. Uh-oh. He's got some stuff around his neck. I was about to say this metal-esque track that's playing right now kind of is not a very Count Dooku sort of track. But the man did have a metal album. Christopher Lee was very, very much a fan of heavy metal, for those who don't know. All right, so here's the thing that I'm running into. I really wanted to have his legs close together, and I know that there's a thing that I can do with the stand to bring it closer together. Make sure that that's clean before I lay that down on him. Like, you can take the stand and kind of... And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but you can kind of just close it together and have them overlap so that it forms a single clamp. And I don't know how successful that's going to be. No, it's not going to work. It's just too springy. So what it's doing is it's pushing his legs apart. So that's going to dictate, since I am going to have this thing on a stand, I always use the stands. That's going to dictate what I do with the pose a little bit more than I would like. So let's go ahead and bring that shoulder back. Bring that arm in. Strap that down. Oh boy. This is not one that I want to screw up. I want to get this one right. I really, really love this character, and he has such presence, and I don't want to detract from that with a weak-ass pose. There's also challenges that are brought to bear with the use of a single piece head and neck thing. There's a phrase for that and I can't remember what it is. Oh. It almost feels like, oh my god. I really do feel like he's got some kind of a asymmetrical leg thing going on. But I'm sure that it's just me. And the trouble with how I'm doing this here is that I'm looking into the light, so he's kind of silhouetted. So I'm not able to really see things all that well. But let me go ahead and try to replace that cape. I'm really glad that I went with this hand because the slightly curved fingers there make it easier for me to have him holding that cape out of the way. Now let me just check. Yeah. A bit more of a turn. I don't want to go too crazy with that torso twist, but I kind of am. Oh. I am struggling with this one, dudes. Seriously, have you ever seen me struggle with the pose this much? Let's get this back over here. Let me slide myself over and bring this in. Because I think you're losing a lot of it. And we're gonna just make him taller. How's this look? Yeah, that's good. There's a slight bend to the leg there. Kind of an implication of the beginning of motion. And right now he's burning the hell out of his cape. So you gotta watch that. That's hard, dudes. That's hard. There we go. How are we looking here? Oh, look, questions here. Dark Saber. Which Dark Saber do you own? I own the Black Series, the Hasbro Black Series one. I am bound by my employer to not discuss unlicensed stuff when I talk on my YouTube channel. So yeah, anything that I show you, you can guarantee is going to always be a licensed product. So yeah, hopefully that answers some future questions for people. Oh, AJ's been doing some homework while I'm doing this. Dueling sabers also have curved hilts. Interesting. Yeah, I kind of like check this out. Just kind of like look at that curve that I've got going on there. I do like my curves. So he's like leaning slightly into it a little bit. You know, I could have probably just looked at the Sideshow PF and probably based a pose on that. So that's another one. Yeah, Christopher Lee was definitely metal as hell. And very much a real 007. Yeah, I think everybody by now knows that story. Christopher Lee was in fact Special Forces back in the day. So anyway, I'm going to tweak that pose later on down the line, and at some point I'll get photographs, maybe even a turnaround of it, and post that video as a YouTube short or something similar. Yeah, in fact, going forward, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'll do the pose here on the show, and then later on post a short with just like turnarounds of at least that pose and maybe one or two others. There's a dog hair on him. Christopher Lee strikes me as a dog person, so I think he would approve. Thanks, man. It's solid. I think it's solid. I wouldn't go so far as to call it great. Again, I'm very confused by what's going on here with this leg, because it does feel as if one leg is shorter than the other, and I'm not sure what to do about that. Let me just correct that a little bit. Yeah, one's very confusing, because now that I have them in the same place, it just feels like one's longer than the other. That's weird. Which is fine, because I kind of want to have those legs be a little bit asymmetrical at this point and just kind of do a little bit of a hip action in there. This cape is just floundering. Oh, there's a droid on screen. Wow, they got an actual droid wandering around out there. Oh, look, there's a droid that's going to go meet Anthony Daniels. Probably his hero. Man. Legitimately how I work. Nothing is done, ever done. Let's get that hand back a little bit more. And I realize that you guys can't see what I'm doing here. There's just like a guy looking down on his screen right now, but go ahead and bring this back over. Lift that stand back up, because again, he's tall. It's weird how springy that thing is, but when you get it up high enough for him, then just kind of like loses something. Not a lot of range of motion in that head. Look at this. I've got this absolutely perfect figure in front of me, and I'm criticizing it. No, range of motion in the head. I think that's better. Yeah, it needs a lot of work. It needs a lot of work. Sometimes these things fall into place, other times, yeah. Dude! What the hell? Welcome, Bitter Troll. Welcome back to the channel. I think it's your second time here, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, of course, yeah, we know that. Well, I do. Maybe not everybody did, but yeah, Hugo's right, everybody. He was Scaramanga in The Spy Who Loved Me? Was that it? Or was it The Man with the Golden Gun? Yes, The Man with the Golden Gun. Thank you. It's actually right there in your comment. Thank you. Okay. How about posing Ventress with the Count? My Ventress is down in the basement. It's a loose figure that I acquired, and it's in a plastic shoebox, much like the trio of veteran clones that I have over here to my right. But yeah, it's I really hate this pose. I really do. I'm really embarrassed. Oh, that reminds me. Kayla Miller says Dooku and Attack of the Clones Yoda are two Hot Toys' most underrated figures. I have that down in the basement, and I don't think I've ever opened it. I think it's still sealed in mint in box. But I think that's part of what I wanted to do. I kind of wanted to get them posed together. I think that you have... Is there a flight stand that comes with that figure? Because that would be great. That would be great. I used to have the Sideshow versus diorama, the Count Dooku versus Yoda versus diorama, and that was well engineered, a very, very lovely piece. Again, just sold it because I don't have room for everything. The only versus diorama I still have is Anakin versus Obi-Wan from Episode 3. And it's in my living room. It has a shelf all to itself. It is a thing of beauty. Captures that. Look it up. Google the Sideshow Anakin Skywalker versus Obi-Wan Kenobi diorama versus diorama, and it captures that moment right when Anakin had just flipped off of that little magma droid that he was riding on and lands on the little platform that Obi-Wan was on, when Obi-Wan's actually just getting ready to leap off. In fact, he's getting out of the way at the same time getting ready to leap. Anakin has just done that landing where he's like does the swipe with his saber and both of his arms are back. I probably should just grab it and bring it over here, but I'm not gonna. Did they really? A Black Series 332nd helmet. Well, then I'm really glad that I didn't follow through and buy that Black Series Clone Trooper helmet with my designs on painting that myself, because they do a great job on their helmets. Anyway, I don't think I'm going to get around to posing Jesse. So Jesse might go on the back burner with Axe Woves. So now Axe Woves is going to be at least 2 weeks away, depending on what else comes in. What else do I have coming in? I think nothing. I think I'm a month out from having another figure. Yeah. I just re-binged it in a day. The whole series in like a day. I scratched that. Within 24 hours. I started it over the weekend in the evening and then wrapped it up the next morning. But it's much better than I remember it. I enjoyed Kenobi, but I found fault with it on certain levels. But in going back and rewatching it, hey, I wonder if this microphone stand is the reason why my shit's not focusing. Don't spill the coffee, Terry. Don't spill the coffee. That would be interesting. So, to test this theory about my microphone being the issue with my focusing not working, I'm going to show off my latest acquisition. This was an accidental acquisition because I was, after a little too much wine, me? Never. And watching Kenobi. Let's see if it'll focus. No, that wasn't the issue. Come on, you can do it. Oh, come on. I'm so sad that this is happening. I'm going to have to break out a different lens maybe and try that. But I got the Obi-Wan Kenobi Black Series Force Effects Elite Lightsaber. And I had this pre-ordered from Hasbro. And I didn't keep it. I didn't keep the pre-order because I held it in my hands at Comic-Con last year. And I had previously owned the Master Replicas lightsaber, Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber hilt. And I remembered it being much smaller, much thinner, and a bit shorter. And so I was like, nah, this isn't screen accurate. Oh, nope, not getting my money. And I canceled it. But then I was watching Kenobi, and there was a bit where he's actually holding the saber in his hand, and you get a little bit of a close-up of him holding it, and I was like, whoa, wait. And this is screen accurate to the show, to the TV show, the Kenobi TV show. I think. I don't know, could be wrong, but it looks fine in hand, and it's a comfortable grip at this size. Any smaller, and it might not even be that comfortable. But you know, there are issues. It's not perfect. I mean, this bit here is plastic, and you can see the mold lines. The seams here are very visible. I think that there could be more of a patina on the cup of the emitter, but apart from that, I mean, I think it's fine. I think it's fine. What's this? I think that's a lost cause, but who knows? On a long enough timeline, Hot Toys may remake everything. I don't know, 15 years from now. How heavy is it? It's very heavy. It's absurdly heavy. I also have an actual Graflex saber that I built myself right here, and I guess it's not too much heavier than this. Okay, hang on. Okay. I have a very filthy scale here that I will use. Maybe if it turns on. I think the batteries are about to die in this thing. So let's find out just how heavy this is. We're going to go with grams. Wow. 847 grams for all of you Americans out there. That's, oh shit, I hit the wrong button. Zeroed it out again. So 847 grams. That's actually 1 pound, 13.9 ounces. So how can I get, oh, there we go. I'll just use this. As opposed to the Graflex saber, which is about as screen accurate as you can get. And put that on. Oh wait, let me zero that out. Cool. There we go. Which is 1 pound, 2.9 ounces, so significantly lighter. Let me go ahead and do that in grams for all of you. For everybody else in the world who does things properly. Oh shit. I'm really bad at life. Okay. Back on there. So that is 534 grams. So yeah, significantly lighter the Graflex is than the... And this is without batteries in it. I don't even have batteries in it. Because I've got to be honest, I mean, since I exercised poor judgment when I ordered this. Because I just ordered a couple of Hot Toys figures, and my budget really shouldn't allow for this. So I might be sending this back. In fact, I've already initiated the return at Amazon. But who knows? Who knows? I have until May 6th to decide to get it back to them. So we'll see. We'll see. I haven't even taken... This is the only part... The hilt is the only part I've taken out of the box. I haven't taken the stand out. I haven't taken the blade out. I just don't know that I have reason enough to keep it. That's a lot of grandmas. You know, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I haven't checked to see if there's a new firmware update for my Nikon, but I did a firmware upgrade like a year or two ago, and that took care of the autofocus issue that existed before. So I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. A lot of it is metal. Metal. Chromed plastic, I think, but it might be metal. Definitely metal. Definitely metal. This thing comes out, there's your battery compartment, and it's a very specific way that it fits back in, then you twist the cap back on and we're done. Poor Judgment is my next band name. Poor Judgment is the title of my autobiography. Anybody else? Poor Judgment is the name of my third child. Ooh. All right, everyone. I think that's about it. I'm going to call that a show because I really want to get back to seeing what's going on Star Wars Celebration. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the distraction. And poor judgment is what my mom almost named me. Well played, Bitter Troll. Graflex handles are aluminum, which explains some of the weight. That's true. That's a valid point. But yeah, I think I need to. And again, I hope I haven't missed any super chats while I was posing a figure, which actually does happen. I'm just gonna scroll up really quick and make sure. Good. I think we're good. Okay, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Stop what you're doing right now if you haven't already, and go sit down and watch Star Wars Celebration. There's a lot of fun stuff happening there. I'm gonna watch as much of it as I can before I get busy with yard work. Yeah, still trying to cut up that tree. I'm doing it by hand. Voopah. But yeah, thanks for joining me today. And as always, until next time, don't forget to be good to your plastic. I almost said let your geek side show. Wrong show. Later, guys. Bye.